My boyfriend hurt me. My boyfriend wanted to try anal for forever and I said okay. When he started trying to get it in it really hurt and I kept saying ouch and he listened to me at first and when I said ouch he slowed down and tried softer but then he just pushed it in and the pain was so bad and I cried and I was screaming ouch. I tried pushing him away but my position didn't really help. I didn't have control. Doggy. He finished and he cuddled me and fell asleep. The day after when he initiated sex I asked why he didn't stop when I said was crying and saying ouch or it hurts and he just said, you didn't ask me to stop. Was I being clear enough? It's not that I didn't want to say stop. I forgot to say it and during the pain you don't think about what you should say. I just wasn't thinking. No, you were not wrong. He should have seen your distress and stopped. Crying is a very clear sign that something hurts you. And I don't know exactly the kind of connection you guys have during sex but if he can keep going while you are crying in pain, something is wrong. Especially while trying a new thing. What you have just described as rape. Give your boyfriend more credit, because he's not blind, deaf, or dumb. He knew you were in pain and finished anyways because he didn't care. Sounds like you were being pretty clear that he needed to stop. If a man doesn't look for feedback during sex, especially when trying something new, he just does not care. He should have stopped as soon as he saw that you were uncomfortable and ask you if you wanted to continue. The fact that he kept going even when you said, ouch, just tells you that you should have a real conversation with him about consent. You were being clear enough. Your boyfriend knew that it hurt you, because he tried to go softer at first. He just chose to be an asshole and that his pleasure is more important than your pain. Honestly, he knows that he should have stopped and now tries to blame you for your pain. He will likely do it again. He should have stopped the second he realized it was causing you pain. Stop is clear but ouch is clear that it hurts. Don't ever do anything sexual that you are not 100% comfortable with. No, you made it clear. He raped you, hun. You were pushing him away and crying. He's a rapist and will do it again. It's best if you leave before he tries again. Please, like I'm negging you to leave this guy because he will do it again and hurt you. Yeah, this is worrying. He sexually assaulted you, and then cuddled you like nothing was wrong? You need to either have a serious talk with him about not attempting to rape you, or you need to fucking leave him. You will also need to make sure you are not damaged. Forcing his dick into your rectum can damage you physically. He definitely knew that it was hurting and decided to just ignore what you were saying. He should have immediately stopped and checked that you were all right instead of continuing. Please have a serious talk about boundaries and actually listening to you. You don't have to explicitly say stop for a partner to understand you're in pain and check on you. Nope, you were being plenty clear. He should not need a notarized letter to realize that you are saying no, and the fact that he was able to finish sex with a screaming, crying person is concerning, to say the least. Also, that's not how you do anal sex the first time. You need to work up to it over a course of time, starting with just external stimulation. A person doesn't run a marathon the first time they go jogging. If you don't consider this a deal breaker and continue with him, do some research about how to do anal safely and without pain. I'm single and have never been in a relationship. But if I'm ever doing something to my future girlfriend, sexual or not, and she tells me or it's obvious that she isn't comfortable or is in pain, I'm gonna stop right away, and depending on what happened or what I did, I'll ask if she's okay. That's how every guy should be. He's in the wrong 100%. If he does this one more time, I'd leave him if I were you. But I honestly wouldn't blame you if you choose to leave him right now. You were raped. Run. So your boyfriend is a rapist. The way you write this, it sounds like something you weren't keen on to begin with. You were giving clear signs of displeasure. You literally were screaming, crying and pushing him away. It sounds like he raped you. I cannot imagine seeing my partner screaming, crying, pushing me off, and thinking it was a good idea to continue. What happened is extreme red flags, location flag. Almost to the point where I'm wondering if you should file a police report. Regardless, I certainly think you should get out of the relationship now. Even if he misread cues to stop, clearly you weren't enjoying yourself. That should be enough. He only cares about his own pleasure. Anytime you are crying or saying ouch or in any way indicating you're emotionally or physically uncomfortable, he should stop. If you two are close enough to be having sex, then he has a responsibility to be aware of how you are and if you are enjoying what is going on. Consent alone is not enough. Your partner should be enthusiastic, or you should check in and make sure they're okay. You're right to be upset that he wasn't at all concerned about your well-being and just wanted to get off. He needs to understand that what he did was not okay and was assault. Ask him if you were crying and saying ouch during vaginal sex, would he not have stopped if you hadn't specifically said that word? Because anyone would consider that rape, and it's no difference just because it was anal. Rape. What he did was rape. He raped you. You need to get out of there ASAP. My FWB and I have anal very occasionally, like once every 5 to 6 months. Every single time I say ouch, or jerk away, he stops and asks me how I'm doing and asks me if I need a break. Your boyfriend pushed boundaries and it's gross. It's assault. You were screaming in pain and trying to get away and he kept going? How the hell did you end up cuddling with him after? I am feeling queasy. Please take better care of yourself. Dump him. I feel like even if you did say stop, he wouldn't and would use the "I didn't think you were serious" excuse. Break up with the rapist. Not the point, but anyone I have been with would have been really turned off by me vocally saying ouch during sex. Leave him, no matter how you might feel about him, and no matter if he apologizes. You were crying and screaming in pain and he liked that. If he's trying to be extra nice now, it's because he's trying to get you to accept what happened so that he can do similar things again. And if he doesn't apologize and puts the blame on you, then that also means he doesn't care. He has shown you what he is like now, believe him. You need to leave, no matter what he does from now on. Otherwise you show him that what he has done is okay, and leave yourself vulnerable to further abuse down the road. Leave. He is selfish, disrespectful and scary. I couldn't trust him after that. This same situation happened to me with my boyfriend. We did some anal stuff before, but we decided to try it out in the shower once and he slipped right in without working up to it and it hurt more than anything. I just yelled out and started crying, and you know what? He immediately pulled out and comforted me. If he had just kept going and not stopped, I would have ended it immediately. There is no excuse for that. Could you have been clearer? Yes, you could have. Should you need to be clearer? Absolutely not. The fact that he just shoved it in there, seemingly without warming you up or anything, is a huge red flag. Then he literally just rammed it in, yet another no-no. And then finally, you're laying there screaming in pain, and he's not stopping to see if you're okay? Yay, I don't even need to explain how much of an asshole that makes him. And on a personal note, call your doctor and get a rectal exam. You mean ex-boyfriend, right? Ouch, that hurts, and crying all mean stop. There most likely wasn't near enough lube. If you decide to stay with that asshole, the next anal session is his ass and no lube. You were crying out in pain and he didn't care. He forced his way into your body, hurting you, hearing you cry and scream in pain, and got off. It is sexual assault. He's now gaslighting you, making you believe this is on you. He will do it again. www.rain.org. A lot of people are mentioning safe words, etc., etc. But seriously, if you have not previously communicated about how it's okay for you to cry during sex, of course he should have stopped. His excuse is bullshit, and if you had said stop, he would have probably told you he didn't think you meant it. Safe word. He probably wouldn't have heard it. The fact that he cuddles you afterwards and goes to sleep also tells me he didn't check up on you afterwards. It's not like you had time to hide you were crying. First off, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Sending hugs, heart. Second off, he knew it hurt you. He knew and he didn't care. He's trying to act like you're in the wrong, so you will continue to let him do this and won't leave him. He's gaslighting you. He'll probably do it again in the future. This is a major red flag. That's sexual assault and rape. Story is his pleasure first. You, not so much. This is rape. You can stop consent at any point and you did. He ignored that. You are not safe with this person. They don't care about your well-being or comfort. Get away. Why are you there? OMG. He raped you. Intimacy is a two-way street, an agreement and a trust. When experimenting with intimacy on any level, communications are essential, both listening and hearing. He broke your trust, and ignored your communications. He needs to know this is not okay, and you need to make sure you are safe. Do not let this go unchallenged. Do not let him make you uncomfortable. Leave the relationship. Maybe even report him to the police. Whatever you do, do not continue to stay with someone like that. It's obvious he gets off from causing you pain. He raped you and got off on it. It will happen again to you or the next girl if you don't do anything about it. I would consider an exit plan. Definitely seek professional help. So sorry this happened to you. It's horrific when your partner take advantage of you like that. No, crying Abed screaming ouch is a clear, this is not okay, and he ignored it so he could get himself off. That shit is not on. Anal takes a lot of prep before it doesn't hurt and a lot of communication. Your partner ignoring your pain would have broken something in the relationship if it was me. I'm really sorry this happened. He knew you wanted to stop. He just didn't care. He didn't care you were crying or in pain. His orgasm was more important than you. I think he needs to be an ex-boyfriend. The day after when he initiated sex, I asked why he didn't stop when I said was crying and saying ouch or it hurts, and he just said, you didn't ask me to stop. You were clear enough, you didn't do anything wrong. If your boyfriend had any empathy, he would have asked you if you were okay when he saw you crying and you telling him it hurt, but his own gratification was the only thing he found important. You should talk this out because his being inconsiderate of your well-being is a red flag. He knew you were in distress, but he continued. You showed all the signs of being in distress. He continued because he is a selfish asshole who only cares about his own sexual satisfaction. He raped you. He can make all the excuses in the world, but he is vile and knew exactly what he was doing. You are dating a rapist. I just don't see how someone could keep doing something to someone in such pain and discomfort, especially when they know they are the direct cause. He deliberately did something he knew at the time was seriously hurting you and chose not to stop just because you didn't explicitly say the word? That logically means he chose to hurt you to get himself off. Good people never do this, but bad people do, and they will do so repeatedly. That's literally rape. I am so sorry, you definitely do not deserve that. You were being clear enough, but he refused to see your pain and only cared only feeling good. I would have given him a paper cut while he's asleep and I'm in pain. Sounds very infuriating to hear your story. I hope all is good. Jesus Christ. When he heard you say ouch the first time, he pulled back knowing it hurt you. When he decided to push further and not stop, I find it hard believe he needed a stop to know. I've told guys, it hurts, and they stopped fully. Did he even apologize? Yes, you were being clear enough, and honestly if I were you I would be packing my bags and be out of there if he didn't listen to that. Well, that is a huge red flag against his personality. Run whilst you still can. The guy is a creep. There are many ways to indicate you want someone to stop. One is saying the word no, or stop, another is crying in pain. Your boyfriend could see he was causing you physical trauma, he could see you didn't want to continue, and he just didn't care. I'm afraid this is rape. Please don't stay with this person. This is the ultimate not reading the room. He saw you were in pain, he saw you were crying, he saw that you weren't enjoying it, but he did it anyways because he wanted to. Then he blamed you for not using the word stop. At the very least, bare minimum, he was a total asshole. This is a huge thing because you can't trust him to be safe with him. You might want to think about that. Girl, THT is rape. He knew that you wanted him to stop, but he continued to using you as his own sexual desire tool. Maybe he really isn't the person you need to be with. That is trauma he made you experience. It is hard to get over trauma of any abuse, especially